Greetings all and welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck Is A reborG podcast. I'm the one reborG. I'm not going to say that some people call reborG because don't nobody call me the shit. So I'm in the building, got Boy over there chilling, having this nice little midday nap. You know, we out here cooling. Time for a haircut. I seen him doing like a little bit of scratching. Boy not the type to dig in and nothing like that. He just take a nice little swipe. Fucking let's move on. Tail getting better, the scab's gone. The hair's coming back, the cortisone done dried up, and you know, everything getting back to normal. He's doing good. You know, for those who give a fuck, 'cause I think y'all give more of a fuck about him than me. So we out here. Go over these quick sports topics. Michael Kendricks for the Browns, he got released because he got charged with insider trading. I don't know if he going to jail or not, but it's just funny to see that type of shit go down. That's just crazy. I just want to see where that goes further on down the line. And some hating ass news. This black motherfucker named Virgil, I think he worked for Louis Vuitton? I can't remember. He do the menswear for high fashion, and he worked with Nike to build a catsuit for Serena Williams. But people for the Open came out and said we should start doing a dress code, and that's unacceptable. And just on some bullshit, man. Because you know, who gives a fuck what they wearing? They ain't naked out there. Just because she want to wear something tight and her body looks better with that than a lot of the other chicks, you know, that's hating ass news for the week. 'Cause come on, man. Even though she brolic in the face, she still got a body that, you know, people want to see. So, hating ass motherfuckers, get the fuck out of here. In the what the fuck sports news of the week, Clint Dempsey retired. You know what Clint Dempsey retiring is? Like Ryan Fitzpatrick retiring and you making a big deal of it. Talking about he was he personified American soccer. American soccer ain't shit. Like, people may talk shit about the Jets Super Bowl from 1968, but at least they won the shit. America, I'm not even sure America has been in the Final Four of the World Cup, so get the fuck out of here with this American soccer shit. The MLS is the biggest waste of money ever. They should cancel that shit, sell whatever they can, and put that shit in the WNBA, because they out here hating. Skylar Diggins is out here talking shit about players. She dog Harrison Barnes, talking about she was an all-star, first team, all WNBA, and this dude is the highest paid player in the Mavericks, and he didn't get no accolades. Stop hating, man. Me personally, I mean, WNBA is a little boring. Like, you know, some of them can't hoop and it's good to watch, but they're just missing the excitement, and you can't get paid more unless more people are watching you. See, that's the problem. You shouldn't be blaming, well, you can't blame the owners because, you know, they take some blame in it, but you should be calling out people in the nation. Call me out, because I'm not going to watch the shit like on like schedule it or nothing like that. This weekend is college football weekend. WNBA is not going to come across unless I'm playing on NBA Live, which that EA Access drops for the 10-hour trial. I'm not going to play the WNBA mode, but I'm pretty sure somebody going to make some girls out there that's going to play, you know, and bring them out there to the, you know, blacktop and the street ball courts or whatever the fuck that is. But outside of that, might check for no WNBA, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Make your brand more exciting, get more people to watch. Then you can ask for that squeezed cheese, because it ain't like y'all ain't getting no money, because you get paid 5, damn near 10 times more when y'all go overseas. So oh the fuck well, you play over there for a little bit, you can get to come home. Fuck the WNBA, you ain't doing nothing but, you know, so go out there and do that shit, man. Once more players decide that they don't want to play in that league no more, they either gonna get rid of it and y'all can get more money overseas, or you gonna get more people to watch and you'll get the money. Guaranteed. Something has to stop for y'all to get a game. So get to it. Urban Meyer's full of shit. That was the worst apology I ever seen. That apology is pretty much what I expect any like murderer or somebody just like blatantly guilty, because he knew he had got off with some shit, and his apology was just pretty much a whole bunch of that. Like, he was like smiling and, you know, smirking, and just he was like, got away with that shit, huh? Watch how your boy get down. Like, just, it was just crazy, man, to see him do that shit, and just the way I thought he was going to be done. I thought Ohio State was going to be done. But he'll be there. He got he suspended the first 4 games, and who knows what'll come of that. And speaking of college football, week 0 was last week. Really didn't give a fuck. I think I watched the Hawaii game. Hawaii had a quarterback put up a whole bunch of stats, but this is like the official tissue. All the big time games is this week, the week 1. And the top 5, ESPN, I don't know if it's just theirs or this is how the rankings are going to be, period. And me and the homies have discussions about this all the time. It really even shouldn't be any rankings till like week 7 or 8. The beginning, who gives a shit? You just know if you losing, your ass ain't gonna be ranked as high as you think you should be, because you got those losses come later on. Now, it shouldn't be no confusion. If you undefeated, you just undefeated, and you'll just be that. And they definitely should expand the playoffs to about 18, not 16, because after a while, those ass whoopings are gonna get pretty boring to see. I don't think it has the capability, the opportunity that college basketball may have. College basketball has a lot more upsets, and yes, they happen, but I don't see it happening too much in college football. Not as far as the playoffs go. Because if you fuck around and you take, like, let's just say Arizona is the 16th seed and they got to play Bama first. If they get worked, if the 16th seed keep getting worked year in and year out, it serves no purpose. So the top 5 is Bama, no problem there. They're going to start to it. Hey, sir, shut what we call the fuck up, okay? We're doing the podcast. Lay down and shut up. Barking at nothing. All right, Bama, they're going to start to it. All the drama is bullshit. I don't even know what people are reading into. It's just ESPN and other sports media outlets just using this shit to carry on stories. There's so many other stories that you could be talking about, but you should be listening to this instead of them all the damn time. Number 2 is Clemson. Shout out to Clemson. They doing a good thing. You figure they didn't lose to the end of the season with that quarterback, and as soon as he fucks up, not fucks up to the point that they're going to lose, but fucks up to the point that the offense isn't clicking, he's gone, and Trevor Lawrence is going to get the start. They got a crazy defense, especially that line. They got at least 3 out of the 4, front 4 that'll probably go in the first round. So they crazy. UGA, I think Georgia will get some. I like 3rd for them because they did lose a couple of pieces, but not enough where it'll affect the whole team and stuff like that. Yeah, they lost Roquan Smith and Lorenzo Carter, but they still have good linebackers that are still playing, Wisconsin at 4, I ain't mad at that either. Wisconsin did their thing. They bringing a lot of talent back. So, but Ohio State at 5, what all these teams in the top 4, the other teams in the top 5 have in common? They bringing back quarterbacks. Ohio State is not bringing back a quarterback. Do you really think with Urban Meyer missing 4 games, even if it wasn't his suspension, even if he was coaching, you think a 3-year starter like J.T. Barrett gone, that they're going to be able to still function? They lost a lot of talent. They lost more talent than some of the other teams have. Of course they're bringing back Nick Bosa. He's sauce. He's going first round, more than likely top 5, barring any bullshit injuries. But I don't think they deserve to be number 5. I would take Washington, who's bringing back a lot. I would even take Auburn. Auburn's actually bringing back their quarterback. And yes, they lost a good running back, but this is a Gus Malzahn offense. For those who know college football and Gus Malzahn, he puts points on the board, like easily. Like, it doesn't matter. He's going to get buckets. The team is going to score. Not like, not like when they played Central Florida and Shaquem Griffin was fucking them up, but they should get more love. I don't think Ohio State should be in the top 5. Continuing on with the kind of college news, the NBA, USA Hoops, and the Players Union are trying to work together to get like a junior league started, so this one and done shit can be dead. Nah, they trying to get rid of one and done and the control AAU has over basketball, our travel ball has, and they trying to all conjoin to make it one, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like a farm system. But this farm system has high school niggas in it, actual kids that's in school and things of that nature. Because let's be honest, these kids, their only focus is making it to the NBA. If I'm 6'10", I'm 6'10", 225, top 10 in the nation. My focus is not about getting an education in those 4 years of college. I'm a senior high school. I'm trying to pick my school because, for me personally, I want to pick my school early and then just focus on getting right for that so I can only do this 1 year and get to the league. I'm not focused on playing 4 years, even if I get hurt, because there's still lottery picks that don't even play the whole year. Fucking Michael Porter, he went lottery. Enes Kanter didn't play shit. And he went, I think he was the third pick. But, I just like to see how this would come about, because I'm sick of kids getting in trouble over some silly shit. These kids are poor and underprivileged. They don't have the means to do whatever the hell they want now for the most part. So, man, let these kids get this money. They're going to get it anyway, so might as well. NFL news. Well, not NFL. Let's stick on the basketball side of things. Ginobili and David West retired. Shout out to them. Been a fan of theirs since the beginning. David West at Xavier, he was a beast. And Ginobili, when he started out with the Spurs and he had the flowing locks and he was Euro stepping, getting people. You know how that go. Sauce. Both of them good. Glad to see David West get a championship. That was really good to see. And with Manu, part of the Spurs big three, David West is a Hall of Famer, not first ballot, but later on down the line, he should get in there. Manu, they'll probably try to hate and won't give him first ballot. I give him first ballot, fuck it. But if he will definitely be in the Hall of Fame, because I've seen that shit on the internet where people are hating like he don't deserve it, and they called out he's a 2-time All-Star like other players who were, and like, yeah, really, because he was integral in all of those championships. He was integral in all of their playoff runs. And let's not forget, they beat Team USA. All right, him and Argentina beat Team USA, and I don't blame Team USA as much as I blame Larry Brown. Larry Brown really fucked that team up. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into that right quick. That team had Melo, D-Wade, and LeBron on the bench. He would bring them in, they would take the lead, and he would put them back on the bench. Larry Brown is notorious, and I've said this before, Larry Brown is notorious for not playing rookies or young players. He just does not like them. So, and he wasn't teaching shit, and most of the players weren't acquainted with the ball, and a lot of players didn't play because of 9/11 and things of that nature. It was a whole clusterfuck of a situation. So, I think America ended up getting bronze out that bitch. So, I'm pretty sure that shit will never happen again. Not in the next 10 to 15 years. Nah, that shit ain't gonna go down. Switching from basketball, we're gonna go to the NFL. We already talked about Michael Kendricks. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers and Odell Beckham for getting the bag, which is very frustrating because you just seen two players at their positions get their money, and the Raiders, the team that I am a fan of, is actually thinking about trading Khalil Mack. Of course, there's interest in him, but the Raiders are looking for 2 first-round picks. Nobody's going to try to give you that. But here is a top 5 defender since he's been in the league. Gruden came out and said some dumb shit like the team wasn't winning when he was playing last year. That he has absolutely nothing to do with that. Because you may think of one player taking over on the defensive side of the ball like Lawrence Taylor, but you do not forget Pepper Johnson and Carl Banks. So, Gruden has been fucking up to me since the draft. When he drafted that fucking Colton Miller, the fucking crash test dummy who watched Josh Rosen get fucked up. And then they thought they could fix the defensive line, because I'm starting to think that they knew they weren't going to sign Khalil Mack. They knew they won't, because in the second round, they drafted P.J. Hall, a tackle out of Houston, the tackle nobody knows or gives a fuck about. Maurice Hurst, who was a good defensive tackle for Michigan, barring injury, probably would have been a first-round pick. And then Arden Key later on in the rounds, a talented defensive end with a lot of issues. Why waste those picks except for Hurst? You took Hurst in, what, the 3rd or the 4th round? Hoping he can get better. Now, that's the one I understand. But P.J. Hall and Arden Key, we don't need them. We have a 20-something pass rusher right now that we're fine with. We could have used those picks to help shore up that shitty defensive backfield and the shitty linebacker situation. Okay? We passed on Roquan Swift. We passed on Edmonds. We passed on a lot of players. We even passed on Malik Jefferson, who I think has the speed and capabilities to grow in something nice. But what we did, we tried to patch up what we know we're going to lose in Khalil Mack, and then grab a lineman who won't shit. Like, I'm going to be honest. Last year was the most I've ever watched Red Zone because I refused to watch the Raiders defense because you already knew what it was. And it looks like I will have to do that again. Let me get off this rant and go to something a little more pleasant. Teddy Bridgewater got traded to the Saints for a 3rd round pick. Shout out to Teddy B. Good to see him playing, overcoming those injuries, and to see him playing pretty good. And I don't know what the future holds for him in the Saints. I know what it is now. They probably don't want to pay Tom Savage. Get rid of him. You get a better backup in Teddy Bridgewater, and you can still let Taysom Hill, who I think they're trying to groom for the spot, but he's not working out that well in the preseason. Keep him on the special teams because he's a great special teamer. Kickoffs and punt team. He can run down there and get a tackle like it ain't shit. Really not something you want your quarterback to do. But I think now they may try to get him to change positions and try to bring Teddy B in. I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater will be the future solution, or he's going to be the heir apparent to Breeze, but shout out to him. The Jets, I really don't think you should have threw Donald out there like that because I think he's just going to learn from McCown. Josh McCown isn't the quarterback I want my rookie learning from. That's what I meant to say. So I don't have that much confidence in that. I really don't. I don't know what they're gonna do. The Jets defense is good, but the offense, they've added some good pieces, but this real wait and see at this point. And shout out to all the high school footballers who started the last week or two. Do your thing. I wish the best. No injuries. Just keep doing your thing, man. And next, it's still movie time. So, first I'm going to go through some horror films that I liked. I don't have a top 5 for them because I'm not big on horror. A horror film has to, not scare me, but have goosebumps or not even that. Just have me on the edge of my seat with suspense. Suspense is more of a thing that I'm down with. And some of the ones that I really enjoy were Halloween, the original. That was cool. The Exorcist is my shit. That's probably my favorite horror movie of all time. I don't have a list, but that is a favorite. The Shining was good when I first saw it, but now it's more like a comedy, which is what I don't, which is something I don't like about myself as I've gotten older, is that I'm a goofy motherfucker, and you'll find out later in this episode to a T. But some of the shit, especially horror movies, it's so corny, it's all laughable. So some of the ones that initially got me were like The Shining, Exorcist, The Omen, Carrie. Carrie was a sad ass story. It won't nothing to laugh at in Carrie, because I feel for children and shit like that going through bad situations, and it don't get no worse than Carrie. And I did jump at the end of the old one, the original one, where she stuck her hand out the grave all of a sudden when her homegirl was checking. I was like, oh shit. The second, the remake was pretty good, but the original has a sadness in it that's unknown. And then you have The Omen, just a creepy ass kid. It really, just his look was funny. The shit that he was doing wasn't funny, but just that stare down. I thought the Children of the Corn was weird on some Omen type shit. It was cool. You could see it was decent. I like the original. That was cool. Tim, I can't remember his name. He did a good job on it. Shout out to it. The remake was good, but you can see that they were just trying too hard to make it better than the original. Going more along with the book and stuff like that. Like I said, it was a good movie, but that's just it. But as far as a horror film, I wasn't scared of that shit. Pet Sematary, that was a creepy motherfucker. That first one. But when that little boy, when he threw the shit out of that little boy and he walked off saying, "No fair, daddy, no fair." See? They fucked me up. But I've always enjoyed horror movies. Freddy, Jason, Mike Myers, Pinhead, all that shit. It's cool with me. Even Candyman. because I'm black and I try to support blackness till its fullest mind. So I even fucked with Candyman. That's just, I'm just not that scared. Because shit like Scream, that shit won't scare you. That shit was corny. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the fact that it was a true story was, suspenseful. Probably not one of the favorites because they done remade the fuck out of that. Golly, just let it go. But that's enough on horror. Now that, I think it's been about a month and we've gotten over the Kung Fu Theater incident with that old man jumping down the hill, I'm going to let y'all in on my top 5 Kung Fu Theater movies. Now, I didn't write this shit down because I'm fucking up. But first, we going to go with Daggers 8. This is in no particular order. It's just, how they're coming in my mind right now because I don't have them written down. Daggers 8. This is a Kung Fu Theater, which means this shit came out like back in the day. Like even before I was born and shit like that. So, with this one, it stars a kid who's trying to learn martial arts, but each place that he goes to, they teach him a different way. Like whatever their craft is, like one guy makes noodles, so he takes the noodle making into an art in which the guy can learn martial arts. But what the guy who's going from place to place and learning the skills doesn't know, that there's a killer after him. Now this is the motherfucker of the movie and one of the best villains of all time. I'm gonna go over best villains and protagonists and antagonists next week, but this is one of the best villains ever. His name was in the movie was Pa Su Lang, and he was very short, concise, and he was not bullshitting. It was like the Kung Fu Theater version of Anton Chigurh for No Country for Old Men. Very minimal in his talking, but very buoyant in his actions. You already knew what the fuck was up when he came there. Like when he went to the noodle shop to get the guy, and he was going to the next place, and he was talking to the noodle shop owner, and he said, and the noodle shop owner said, "What can I get for you?" He said, "I'll have some funeral noodles." No, he said, "What type of noodles do you have?" He said, "We have egg noodles, chicken noodles, beef noodles, pork noodles. What kind of noodles can I get for you?" He said, "I'll have some funeral noodles." And the owner of the shop was like, "Funeral noodles? What the fuck is funeral noodles? This is just a ghetto version of it." That's not what the fuck he said. He said, "Funeral noodles? I don't have funeral noodles." He was like, "Well, the funeral noodles are for me. They're for you to take to hell." And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of the noodle shop owner. Yeah, Pa Su Lang was the shit. It's on YouTube, the whole fucking movie. It's called Daggers 8. Check that shit out. Get it poppin'. Next on the list, we have Game of Death by Bruce Lee. Kung Fu Theater gotta have a Bruce Lee movie up there. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck what you watch. You could be the most noir, new wave, new age, any type of that shit. If you got a Kung Fu Theater list without Bruce Lee on it, man, you playing yourself, man. Be honest. I got Game of Death, and that shit was sauce. Like, even to this day, I still like, even to watch somebody as tall as fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it's kind of weird to see how tall he is, but he was fluid in his movements, though. That's what take you out of the shit. That's what, like, keep you from laughing, is the fact that he was really performing martial arts. Like, he's really proficient in the shit. Like, that was, like, the best part of the movie, and that is what gets it on the list. When he goes through the tower, and they even got the one with the deleted scene, where the dude was laying down with the white bed and shit. They even got him. The nunchuck guy, the judo guy, like, all of it. Just him going through that tower is enough for me. All the scenes were shot well, and it's a damn shame Bruce wasn't around to do more movies. I'm pretty sure he'd be just like anybody else, the Jackie Chan, Chow Yun-Fat, Donnie Yen, all them dudes, Sammo Hung, and all them guys that's, still doing movies and shit like that. He would still be doing that shit. 3 on the list, I'm gonna go with Kiss of the Dragon with Jet Li. Now, Hero was good as shit, and the other one where he was bald with the ponytail, that joint was good as shit. But what I liked about Kiss of the Dragon more was just, the choreographed scenes were fought well, and he was doing a lot. I know that needle shit was kind of silly, but if you don't know nothing about that, like I don't, I try to keep an open mind. There might be some shit like that. The Asian people, you seen what they do with food. I'm pretty sure they can do that shit with needles in the human body. So Just the fight scenes was good. The story was kind of buns. I ain't give a fuck about Mira Sorvino and the hoe and all that shit, because all he had to do was put the bitch out the store. Get out my uncle's store. You just pee outside, bitch. I really don't give a fuck. Get the fuck away from here. But those fight scenes saved it. 4, we got Ip Man. And I'm going to go with the first one. You know, they're all good, but I'm going to just go with the first one. Downey Yin is one of the best fight choreographers in the game. You've seen what he did with Mike Tyson, and that shit was sauce. Like, you didn't even notice Mike had an inner tube around his stomach, like Mike had got old and fat. That's how good that shit was between them two. And Ip Man is just, he's just sauce, man. You know, it's just what that's just what the fuck it is, man. It's just sauce martial arts, man, with a good storyline. And at 5, I'm gonna go with Undisputed 2 with Michael Jai White and Scott Adkins. The Yuri Boyka character is crazy. Like, the fucking workout that Scott Adkins does to be Yuri Boyka is crazy, and just the choreography, the way the way he looks as a fighter is sauce. You know, it's artistic. And the same thing with Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White is, you know, he's the Bruce Lee for black folks. That's pretty much all I can put it. Much respect to him. I wish he did more action movies, because, you know, when Wesley went in, he could have took over that role, but he started doing more serious movies, and then he jumped under that Tyler Perry branch. I guess he wanted to show he had range and things of that nature, so I'm not mad at him for it. I just wish he did more martial arts movies, and, you know, mainly more martial arts movies on the mainstream. But Undisputed 2 was the shit. Enjoyed the fuck out of it. That's Kung Fu Theater, and I see we still got some time left, so I'm getting ready to go into the comedy section of movies. Now, I am a goofy motherfucker. It does not take much to make me laugh. So, there was no way in hell I could come up with a top 5 list for comedies. It's just no possible way, because movies just make me laugh in general. So, I'm going to just go over some that I loved, and I'm going to give you like a scene or a situation that makes this shit hysterical to me. Okay, first one, we got Waterboy. Funny, the voice with the lisp when he hit the teacher with, "No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong." That shit is still funny to me to this day. The whole movie, I can watch the shit and laugh. When his daddy come up rolling up in the whip, we could be like that Tiger Woods and his daddy. Like, yeah. Props to the Waterboy, because I still can laugh at most of these shits. I can laugh at right now, because I'm already goofy. Next, I have one of my favorite comedies of all time. If I was to actually break down and make a list, this shit has to be in my top 5, and it's Hollywood Shuffle. The masterpiece by Robert Townsend, talking about racism and just racial issues in Hollywood that black people have to deal with. And the comedy was crazy. Those cut scenes that he was making, like the one where he had the 2 black guys doing the movie review, and he was like, "We get Dirty Larry with some bullshit," and, you know, they were like Siskel and Ebert. You know how Siskel and Ebert had the thumbs up and thumbs down, but they didn't like the Dirty Larry movie, so they gave him the finger. Like Attack of the Killer Pimps, dude with his arm behind his head, "Where's my bitches?" Like that. Hollywood Shuffle the shit, man. Great movie. Favorite character of the movie and favorite scene was Keenan Ivory Wayans playing Jerry Curl. No further explanation. Look that shit up on Tube. Next, we got Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite was hysterical. Every character had funny parts, like Michael Jai White, because Black Dynamite's gonna make everything alright. Euphoria, I fucking know that shit. I ain't even gotta look. I should send your ass back to Crenshaw Pete them hot ass coat hangers. He was funny. Bullhorn with the rhyming. But the funniest Bullhorn line was when you first saw him and the lady said, "What else can I get for you, Bullhorn?" And he looked at her and he just so just, you know, nonchalantly said, "I think I like a piece of that ass." That part was funny. Tommy Davidson is cream corn. Tommy Davidson is one of my favorite comedians of all time. If you fucking listen to the podcast, you would know that shit. No need to further explain. Next, we got the House Party series. Loved them. Like, the one thing I would probably pick one over all of them because Robin Harris was funny as shit. Like with the Full Force was funny as shit in the first two. The third one, Michael Collier, Showboat was funny as hell. And Stinky, David Edwards, for my real world fans out there, he was funny. But House Party was the shit. The first one, the first one, House Party, probably makes it in my top 10 movies of all time. Because I like it more as a movie than a comedy. It's funny as shit, but as far as overall movies go, I put that high on the list. Just to watch, that was just a crazy era to watch. The party looked like it was out of fucking control. Like that shit was super fucking lit, and it's just a great movie. Next we got I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I'm not gonna go deep into this one because this one fucks me up because it's funny as shit. Just YouTube Kung Fu Joe, and that's all you need to know. Which Way Is Up? Not only is this a funny ass movie, this is the Richard Pryor Which Way Is Up. It's impressive to watch him take on the three roles of, I can't remember his lead character. Him, the main character, when he plays his pops, and the cricket preacher. What was his name? Lennox Thomas or something like that. And just to watch how he acted, it was kind of like, if you're impressed the way Eddie Murphy acted in Nutty Professor with the Clumps, this is a level higher. Now, even though you knew it was him, he gave them their own identity, own voice, and they were funny in their own particular way. Like, it wasn't just because it was Richard Pryor. It was just the way that Richard was acting and the way it was written. Just an acting virtuoso, which was funny. And when he was Pops, that was just... And somebody ate my pizza chicken, and I hope you choke on the goddamn bone. Next we got Coming to America, which is probably one of the best comedies of all time. I don't give a fuck who you are, white, black, or anything. I don't give a fuck. We can show this shit to aliens and they'll be laughing. Even if that shit ain't even a part of their culture. They ain't got no other choice. No need to go into that any further. It's Coming to America. You already fucking know what it is. And the next two is black ones. And that, I don't think are as great as Coming to America, but still classic. The Friday franchise. Funny in its own fucking way. A lot of people didn't think that Friday was going to be funny after Chris Tucker left. But the second and third one was still funny as shit in their own way. And much respect to them. The first one will probably get more props with it because, original, it was, I'm going to say it's a tad bit more funnier, but not overly like, oh shit, this is the first one, just shits on the other one. Nah, it's funnier, but the other two are still funny as shit. Then you got Life, another Eddie Murphy classic, Eddie and Martin. One thing that I was impressed with in this movie is how Martin took a step back in his comedy. I don't know if it was written that way or just the way he wanted to do it. And he played more the straight man, but he was still coming across as funny with his regular lines. That was still good. That was impressive. Next, we got Caddyshack. 2 words. Rodney Dangerfield. Next, we got CB4. CB4 is still funny as shit. God damn. That's one person I think is real slept on as far as movies go. He don't have a blockbuster among any of his movies. Chris Rock? No. But Chris Rock makes good movies. He makes movies that I can easily go back and watch with no problem. And that even includes Pootie Tang, which was next on the list. So, but I can go back and watch Down to Earth, Bad Company, CB4. What else the fuck did he have, man? Like, top 5. Like, I can go back and watch any of his movies with no problem and still enjoy them. CB4 is just the funniest one. Dead Mike with the 1-800-GAY. Hysterical. Pootie Tang funny as shit. I don't give a fuck. And it ain't just him speaking in gibberish. All the characters are funny. JB, what's hot out here. Truckee, his main Damie. When David Cross got up there and he was acting like Pootie Tang. When Pootie makes an appearance, you gotta watch that part. That walk is hysterical. Next we have Airplane. Leslie Nielsen is one of the funniest dudes in film history, man. And just the spoof that he did, because the Naked Gun, I gotta put that up there too. This is how goofy I am. The Naked Gun is funny, but just the fact that OJ's character is named Nordberg. I'm gonna just go on because I'm getting ready to get weak. Big Lebowski, shout out to the Jesus. That's funny as shit. Anchorman, yo, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I got a homeboy who don't think Will Ferrell's funny, If you don't think this movie a hit or Will Ferrell is funny, something the fuck is wrong with you. I can barely get past the opening credits without crying laughing. So just watch the opening credits. Fuck the fight scene. I mean, the movie's good as shit, but them opening credits, man, that's Animal House. Shout out, man. Animal House is funny. Still holds up to this day. That's one thing that I will give, like, comedies. You already going into it, you know, with it, you know, you already thinking that the movie's going to be humorous, so you don't even think outside of that. So when you see, like, unbelievable shit and shit that you already know is bullshit, you take it as comedy. That's why comedies hold up for so long. There's some action movies that your ass could watch now and it won't even happen. And I'm not talking about Face Off Poe, because me and my homie was talking about Face Off the other day. Not even that. Some of the other shit. I tried to watch The Eraser with Arnold. That was a decent movie when it came out. What was that, 95, 96? I watched that shit like a week or two ago. If it weren't for the fine ass Vanessa Williams, it wouldn't even have been worth rewatching, for real, for real. Next we have Blazing Saddles. All I gotta say is, hey boys, where the white women at? Look that shit up. Dumb and Dumber, the Mockingbird song. Oh my god. That sequel was fucking trash. And I'm not talking about when Harry met Floyd. I'm talking about Dumb and Dumber 2. Like, let that shit go, man. Jim Carrey, man, get your ass in a comedy goddamn club and just look at some funny motherfuckers, man. You sold yourself short trying not to be funny, alright? Trying to be a serious actor. And ain't no problem with that. But don't fucking forget where you came from. Don't forget why the fuck you famous. Cause Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was good. Numbers was trash. And some of the other shit you did on the serious side was alright. But we would not know who the fuck you were without Fire Marshal Bill, Ace Ventura, and all that other shit. The Mask and all the shit that you did to gain the ground. See, that's what's fucked up. I don't like when people gain the ground with a certain audience. As soon as you get that fame, you want to go the other way. Now, no offense to Eddie. Eddie may try to do serious movies, but a comedy is coming sooner or later with Eddie Murphy. Plain and simple. You may not like it. You may not think it's funny, but I thought Norbert was funny as fuck. So, but he still goes back to comedy. He never forgets where his bread was buttered. Now, he may fuck up like Meet Dave. That was ass. But he never forgets the comedy. And that's what's getting ready to happen with Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx got about 2-3 more duds in the box office before they like, fuck it. Next we got American Pie. All I got to say is after Finch got caught. No, after Jim got caught coming twice with Nadia and he go to school and the one student get that nigga the peace sign. Old school, Will Ferrell ass naked in the back of the car telling his wife, hey honey, can we go get some KFC? Next we got Wayne's World, and maybe it's just me, but I think Garth is one of the funniest motherfucking characters ever. I don't know what Dana Carvey did. Like, I ain't gonna fanboy out, but I would get real niggerish if I was to meet Dana Carvey, my nigga. Just, oh shit, it's my nigga Garth. Like, I got questions, yo. Who did you know that this was that quirky, that you made this shit that funny, man? Shout out to him. Happy Gilmore. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast. Tropic Thunder was the shit. Tropic Thunder was funny as a motherfucker. And, you know, I'm not going to say I'm woke, but I'm in tune with my blackness. You know, I couldn't have been offended with Robert Downey Jr.'s character because it was funny as fuck. God damn. But my funniest part is when Tom Cruise, who I do not care for as an actor, but was good in that shit, when he got the key grip to punch Damian Cuthbert in the nose. That was funny as shit. Blues Brothers, a classic. Not only do you laugh at the bullshit that they doing, it's got great music in it, so I can't even pass that shit. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Liked all three of them, but The Spy Who Shagged Me holds a special place because we was movie hopping one day, and this was like the fourth movie we saw. I think this was the last movie of the day that we saw. I can't even remember the other movies, but this how funny Austin Powers was because I remember that shit. Hysterical. Mini-Me, all that shit. Funny as fuck. And last but definitely not least, we got Wedding Crashers. Vince Vaughn, you motherfucker. Vince Vaughn is hysterical throughout this whole fucking movie. And I don't see how people can watch the shit and not enjoy it. Now, some people like my mama, she don't enjoy goofy comedies. You know, you got to put some work in there. You just can't fart and expect her to laugh, even though when she farts, she laughs. But in a movie, she ain't having that shit. But that's just a funny ass movie. Just the way that Vince Vaughn goes on those rants and things like that. Now, I know people are thinking like, where's Monty Python, the Holy Grail? I thought that was more of a good movie than funny. It's not much that makes me cry laughing in that movie. Super bad, funny, but Jonah Hill's character was getting on my nerves. That's one character I hate, can't stand, don't want to see no more. The loser friend who tries to talk to one friend into doing something that makes him cool. Ugh, I'm so sick of that fucking character, man. I'm just done with it. Any other comedies I miss, but like I said, yeah, I couldn't make no list out of this shit. There's a lot of funny shit that's been out there throughout my whole life. Even movies that aren't comedies, that's just funny as shit right now. Because black people have turned The Color Purple into a comedy. We have laughed. We have seen that shit so much. That shit don't even hold us in the special way no more. That shit is just a comedy. But that's just how goofy I am. And I don't hope anybody is as goofy as me. But I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know some of the shit that I missed. And, you know, I'll explain it to you in the comments section or in the next podcast. Why either I forgot about the shit, or maybe why I don't consider the shit to be as funny as you do. Because this not a there's some people who might have seen, some people heard some of the things off this list and thought, the fuck you mean? That shit wasn't that damn funny. And, you know, I don't knock you for it. You know, different people, you know, different experiences, different lives, all that shit. So I'm not here to argue with nobody. You know, just a nice little friendly debate. Not on no bullshit like, you know, the shit that they put on all the sports channels and, you know, the women shows that come on in the daytime that I don't fucking watch. But once again, appreciate you coming out here. Thanks a bundle. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever the fuck. Yo, pass this shit on throughout your social media outlets, because I ain't got the shits. I would really appreciate that. And as always, remember to subscribe, the fucking like button. Shout out to Maverick. We out.